Hello, this is Mayor Kevin Smith. It's March 2022, and this is the State of the City 2022. So welcome. This will give you some details if you're interested, and I'm using a slideshow this year, so just reading into the camera. So, but my technical skills aren't very good, so I apologize on the front end. But let's get started and see if I can pull this off. All right, I love this banner that you'll see at Hope Church out in West Helena. This is just the contents. I'm not going to read all this for you, but I want you to see what we're going to talk about briefly. This is a flyer from one of the citizen engagement events that I hold throughout the year. These are as important for me as they are for you because I get to hear from you directly. We have had, I think, a more transparent and better communicating mayor's office than we've ever had, in part because of new technologies that we've never had, such as the Zoom broadcast, such as this broadcast of the State of the City, not to mention the city council meetings and the YouTube channel that's recorded on, that records our city council meetings where you can go back and look. All these other things, I'm still very excited about our first ever official government website, where you can see all our job openings, city council meetings, budgets, and audits. Of course, social media and radio and newspaper and all the others, we're so grateful for their participation. The census was the biggest story. We got our results, and our population, no surprise, went down 23% in 10 years to 9,519 people. Pandemic, politics, and a lot of things were part of this, but also we have actually lost people. No big surprise. Unfortunately, that causes less money for our city, and it also impacts grant funding, redistricting, and many other things. This is a flyer from the many vaccination clinics we had. So the pandemic being the other major story of our city and of our world in the last 2 years. March of 2020, I believe, is when we first went into the pandemic here, and then May 28th of 2021 was when we officially reopened as a city. We had to partially reclose because of variants, and we could still do that again. But as of now, there are no mask mandates or any of those other things. We've had so many vaccination clinics, over 50% of our population is vaccinated now. Unfortunately and sadly, 96 people have perished because of COVID out of 4,785 cases. But we have worked hard as a community, and I want to thank all of the people who were members of my COVID-19 pandemic task force who helped so much. But even more importantly, what they all did in their own capacity, Dr. Hopper and Dr. Hall in the hospital and the Helena Health Foundation, and just everybody has done so much as a community to help us. And you can see when you compare us to other counties, how much better we are. And it's because of the hard work of all of these people. So you're our heroes. Thank you. This is a story that I'm proud of. 3 months after I took office, I flew to Washington to meet with the Department of Justice to see if we could get this 2-decade debt hanging over our heads resolved. And it took 3 years, but this is a picture of me signing the agreement in July 2021 that saved our city over $2 million and had also caused us to have money swept out of our account to pay this debt and prevented us from federal funding in the future. So I'm grateful. One of my biggest achievements, and of course, I'm very proud of it. Overall, we've had budget surpluses since I've been a mayor. I'm proud of that. We were removed from the state audit concern list, which is worse than it sounds. It's the first step to being taken over by the state if you're financially insolvent. And we were on that list after the first audit from the previous year. And it took a lot of work, but we're now off of it. We want to stay off of it. And we're not there yet as far as where we ought to be on audits, but we're getting there. Of course, I just mentioned the $2.1 million in debt eliminated. We also got a $1 million COPS grant that we would not have been eligible for without it. Had a lot of other budget issues. We lost revenue that was rededicated from the city to the new jail. And we still have some debt with Corps of Engineers, with the Helena Port Authority, but we are current on our payments. And there are many other issues here. This is the Winrock report on broadband. We have free Wi-Fi on Cherry Street, thanks to Ron Dowda and many others. And this is our RBID project, which has changed the way we bid and deal with vendors, first time ever for that. New police cruiser I'm proud of, but mostly I'm proud of the fact that our homicides were down by 50% last year compared to the 2 previous years. That's a big deal, and a lot went into it. I hope it continues. There's no guarantee it will continue, but I do believe it's because of the hard work of our police department, the partnership we've had with the federal government, particularly on crime, and as well as the 12 Sky Cops and these police patrol cars and so many other things, as you see here. Picture from our press conference with the U.S. Attorney and the FBI. They have already done so much since March of 2019 when I first asked them to come here today. They never left. They still are making indictments, and we are sending them cases that they are following up on, and they're creating their own cases. They are here and very present in our community, and it's done a lot to help us with crime. And as you can see here, they're planning on doing even more now that we're coming out of the pandemic. These are actual numbers. Just let you look at these. These come from our RPS crime reporting system. These numbers are fed into the FBI and state databases as well. Some pictures from crime scenes of Sky Cop, mobile Sky Cop. This is also an award on the left here, given in memory of the late Travis Wallace on the anniversary of his death. Officer Roy Williams attended that ceremony in Washington on our behalf. Great picture of our fire department in action. Chief Brown's worked hard on getting our ISO fire rating down, which will, what does that mean really? It means if we can get it down one more notch, which is as far as we can ever get it down, it means that our fire insurance premiums will go down, which is good not only for our people who live here, for homeowners or whatever, but for commercial big companies that look to move here. That's a big issue, the cost of their property insurance, and the ISO fire rating makes a big difference for that. So thank you, Chief, and thank you and the entire department for all that you do every day. You're one of the best in the state, and a lot of people here don't know that. Breakdown of their 788 calls. Some more photographs. Our hydrant inspection program, which actually the water department is over those water hydrants. A lot of people don't know that, but over 700 were certified, inspected. And you can see those little tags right here. If you see that, it means it's been inspected and approved. If you see a garbage bag over it, it means it failed and we've got to get it fixed. That hadn't been done here in many years, and so I'm proud of that. We repaired the leak and cleaned out and inspected the Wastewater tank, which serves the hospital in Midland Heights and nursing home. First time that had been done in years. We repaired the West Helena water aerator, which was the cause of the problem we had in West Helena, or one of the causes. We also completely restored and repaired our backup power generator. But also, probably the biggest thing we did all year, we didn't even talk much about it this year, is that we repaired the Helena plant, which had a serious leaking problem and was in serious danger or threat of shutting down completely. It was brought to my attention by many folks that know more about this than I do. And we did get that fixed. And I don't even think we told anybody about it because we were in the middle of so many other things. We also restored or updated our SCADA computer system, which tells our folks where our water tanks are and how they're distributed. And that's extremely critical. Some more pictures. Public Works. We got that new hot asphalt machine I'm really proud of. Over 300 potholes have been filled since we got it. And that's just a start. We haven't really gotten going that well. We haven't had it that long, and then there are weather issues. But every sunny day, our crew is out there filling those potholes. We got probably 1,000 or more to go. But I'm proud of these guys and what they're doing. New garbage truck, new trash containers. We cleaned up or demolished over 55 vacant properties. We got a new ditch digger. All of our ditches need to be cleaned out and ditched out, and we have started that process. That's a very big deal. Picture of one of the volunteers who came in with some farm implements to help us in the winter storm. The landfill is a moneymaker. A lot of people don't know that. It shows how much revenue we took in. Probably the biggest things we've done here in the last year or so is to get a new dozer and a new dump truck out there. And we've also started doing a better job of keeping the paper litter and all that picked up out there at the entrance. We have trucks that come from 3 counties and all the cities in those counties. So all those trucks aren't ours, although many people think they're all the cities. They're actually from 3 different counties, or 2 different counties in our county. And but it's an important revenue maker for us. And my thanks go out to the director, Bobby Jones, deputy director, code officer, Greg Williams, engineer Philip Fields, and all the staff out there at the landfill. We've never had any illegal dumping enforcement here, which amazes people, amazed me when I found out about it. And it's because you have to have a state license. So I said, these 2 gentlemen and a third person is going soon to have the ability to give citations, state citations for illegal dumping. And before a week was out after this class, and they passed their tests, sworn in by a judge and all of that, it's a big deal. And we issued our first citation within the week when they got back. Mimi Montoya is our new code officer. I want to welcome her, and over $100,000. There's more than this, but this is at least what we have available for you. But approximately not $100,000 in revenue from our enforcement of code laws, fines, and fees. Animal control has been a huge problem longer than I've been mayor. For many, many years, I've been asking the city council if they would help us get a facility to house dogs so that we can enforce these laws, because almost all of them require us at the end of it to take the dog and house the dog somewhere temporarily, and we don't have a place to do that. I hope that changes soon. The Bissell Foundation had a very successful spay-neuter clinic in May, and in October, they were instrumental, along with the Animal Rescue Corps, which they support also, in helping us with a really unfortunate situation at a local shelter where we had to place over 400 animals in safe homes and shelters across the country. We also had to help clean up a very toxic and unhealthy facility. City employees did a lot of work, as well as so many volunteers from both our city and around the region and the country. Thank you so much. Some pictures from that. Unemployment was 7.1 when I became mayor, went up to 12.4 during the pandemic, and now in November was down back to 4.8. Which is higher than the national rate and higher than the statewide rate for the same month. We still have too much unemployment. Inflation is also back. It's the worst it's been since 1982, and currently at 7.9%. Makes it harder because the city can't, just like a business, raise its prices. So we have to watch our expenses to make ends meet. Also, our wages mean less because the price of things go up so much. And so I've worked hard to fund the first COLA that was actually funded throughout the year. Cost of living increase for city employees in 2021 at 3%, and then 2022 is 4%, which is 1% higher than the state COLA. So I'm proud that we were able to fund it all year in 2021. I believe we'll be able to in 22. I think it's important that our employees not go backwards in terms of their buying power. Jobs, probably the most important issue after water and crime maybe, but definitely all that related jobs being up there. If we could just do better on our economy, we could turn most of our problems around. Actually, we saw job growth during the pandemic because 3 of our companies here, maybe a few others, actually benefited from the pandemic. Their products were needed during the pandemic, and so they were sold, had some of the best sales in years they've ever had, and they are trying desperately to hire more people. So for anybody you know who needs a job locally, these companies now do offer better salaries, better benefits than in the past, because they do need people. So please encourage anybody you know to apply for jobs in these local companies that you see here and others. We also sort of checking in our FedEx program. We continue to have FedEx job fairs. I asked them to come to our city a couple of years ago, and they recently told me that we have over 135 or somewhere in that neighborhood of city employees from our city who use their public transportation program back and forth and work at FedEx since I started that program. Proud of it. We also started the River City Connect Second Chance program in 2021, which was an idea of Chief Smith and Naomi Cottoms from the Racial Diversity Committee. Jarvis Smith works for the city and is running that program, and it helps connect people who need jobs with existing programs. So didn't create a new program, connects them, River City Connect, with existing programs and existing jobs. That's just started, but it's already seen some success. So we had a lot of new businesses. People may not know that we have great startups here: Sun Crop, Cherry Street Production, Delta Yoga Collective, or just some of them. We've had several others, and I don't want to leave anybody out. But I want you to know we do have a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs here, and we need to support them. The Phillips County Port, John Edwards has done a good job, and we were designated this year, thanks to his hard work and the commission, as American Marine Highway, which will mean more money and more traffic in our port in the future. The phase 1 of the Helena Harbor Container Storage Yard was completed, and Helm Fertilizer got their road approved to be paved. So we hope to see an expansion there soon, which will be more jobs as well. Pictures from Bill Dance, our Catfish Festival or tournaments, and our steamboats that are now coming back to town. So where are we? We've, after a couple of years of not having A&P staff person or a chamber person or a Main Street person, it's been our historic district commission or person. We've had some real struggles trying to fill the gap of all of those vacancies here in the city. You might remember that all the work they've done over the years here. And so the city's had to try and pick up the slack here. And we've done the best we can. We're proud of what we've done, but we need people with their shoulder to the wheel. And so we want to welcome Hunter Gardner and Nancy McKee, who is the new chamber director, who both came on in 2021. Nancy is more recent. We also won the Trendsetter Award for Best New Tourism Development for our Big Fish, Big River, Big Fun Catfish Destination marketing campaign. The city of Helena-West Helena won that award based on all that we've done with Bill Dance Outdoors and our catfish tournaments. We are becoming a destination for fishermen across the country. And you can see that now, not just in the tournaments, but every day you see fishermen coming here just to fish on that river because they saw a TV show, Bill Dance Outdoors TV show somewhere about how wonderful fishing is, or they heard about it. What we have to do is make sure we create the infrastructure to support that. We do have a great local bait shop, but we need boats and we need guides and we need a marina and we need better facilities down there to accommodate fishermen so that we can build our economy around it, much the way, say, Stuttgart does around duck hunting and duck festivals, and Cotter does around trap fishing. We can do this, and we are right now. People are coming. It's not build it and they will come. They are already coming, so we have to build it in order to accommodate them, so that will continue and that will grow. Steamboats are back, as I mentioned. Also, movies are back. The first time we've had a movie filmed here in many, 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 many years. Paradise Highway with Morgan Freeman and others. Many, many other things are going on. The Tour de Delta, thanks Chris Schauphauser. We also have the festival coming back this year, Blues Fest. And here you see Nancy on the left and Hunter in the middle. And then Wendy's on the right had to reopen, which was really exciting. Had a big band from the high school, and Wendy's made a corporate contribution to the school. This is, you see the manager and her team who have actually built one of the best Wendy's in the country. And a lot of people here don't know that, but we have one of the best Wendy's in the country. So they shut down a little bit, remodeled and reopened, and man, it was a lot of fun. Congratulations to y'all. Just some of the clips from the past year. Catfish City article was in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And this is a bike group that came to town that decided to put us on their list as one of the best biking destinations. And you can see them here in front of another one of our local businesses, Delta Dirt Distilleries. So, and these are the two main leaders of that organization in this picture I'm here with. And then you see an excerpt from Bill Dance's two-part series on Helena. He actually filmed another two-part series as well. And this is our award that we received, the 2001 Arkansas Tourism Trendsetter Award for the best new tourism campaign in Arkansas. And I think it was much deserved. I think we deserved that award, and I'm glad we won it. District Court has really seen some changes. Newly elected District Court Judge Jason Carter and his staff have done a lot to update this technology for the court. He's also beginning to send people to work off public service fines or work off fines with public and community service. And we're grateful for everything they're doing. The Airport Commission, man, talk about a commission that's come alive. Not only did they clean out that burned out hangar off that space, but now two new hangars are going up in its place. And they completed the $5 million airport runway grant, which means now we are back to being where we should be, a safe runway. We have a few other things, a lot of other things really we still need to do to bring that up to where other airports are, where we should be. But, and you see here where our new commission members in Poor Monday helped us get a fly-in board meeting of the Arkansas Thunderbirds. That's the picture on the right here. And she's been a great leader as well. They were able to get the hangars listed on the National Trust for Historic Preservation as an historic site. So I just a shout out to the great job Commission Chairman Eddie Schiffer's doing, as well as the Director Buck Brothers and all the commission members of the Airport Commission, and a former member, volunteer grant writer Johnny Broom. He's retired now, but still helping us write grants. We sure appreciate all of you and for all you're doing. This is just other commissions and kind of where they are trying to come out of the pandemic. Spotlight the college because it was selected the 7th best community college in Arkansas. Congratulations to you. And the DeSoto Thunderbirds football team who won the top championship in their football league this year. We're very proud of you. Thanks for making us look good. And then this paragraph here, which could be 2 or 3 pages of just a few of the organizations that do so much for our community. Not just city government, but our city government also. But they just do so much for our community. And there's so many that aren't listed here. I just want to stop a minute, ask you to read that, and to say a special word of thanks to all they do for us. And it's truly heartwarming. And if you're not already connected with any of these or some of the others, please do so. So what's new for 22? We're going to have our Blues Festival this year. That's a big deal. But we need to continue to grow jobs. Our water and sewer issues are really at a place, an emergency. We've got to deal with the crumbling infrastructure. We need to adopt new codes so we can remove the blight, which is just overwhelming. It's not as easy as getting on a bulldozer, like a lot of people think, like I used to think. It's a lot more involved than that. And we need new codes, and we need a fire marshal to stop the arson that we see. I've been trying to do that for 3 years. Maybe we'll get there. We need to clean out these ditches and roadsides now that we have a ditch digger, which we just got. I hope we'll see more of that. A lot of things going to go on with housing, and I hope with downtown development as well as broadband. And finish the job on crime. What can you do? Well, volunteer for some of those groups, but also run for office. It's not as scary as you might think, but mainly just be a doer. We have a lot of great ideas out there, but what we need more than anything is somebody to actually implement those ideas. So be a doer. Now, I want to say it takes a team to do this. Trust me, I try my best to do as much as I can, but there is no possible way one person can do all that you've seen here. And I want to say thank you to our city employees, as well as our partners who work with us every day to make our city a better place. Thank all of you so very much. And so I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and feel free to refer back to it frequently. It's been an honor serving in years as mayor for over 3 years now, and I can assure you that we have given it everything we can. We're not perfect, we don't make mistakes, but we have made mistakes in trying hard, working hard to solve our problems, and we have a long way to go, but we have gotten a lot accomplished, and that can only be possible with your help and your support and your continued support. So let me finish by saying thank you if you stayed this long. Thanks for looking through it, and I hope you have a good evening. Good night.